Hi, this is my presentation for Module 3, Water Filtration. I teach my students to follow the scientific method, so I'm going to practice what I preach. The problem we have is, can we develop a water filtration system that models Earth's natural processes? The materials used are, as you can see, alum, charcoal, gravel, sand, push pins, coffee filters, rubber bands, cheesecloth, paper cups, glass, and mesh. The first procedure is to conduct research. Already knowing that water filtration is the process of removing impurities, I first researched the process of water filtration, both as it occurred in nature and as a man-made process. After learning that soil is a natural purifier in several ways, I reviewed the layers of soil. Humus is at the surface, then topsoil, subsoil, weathered rock, and bedrock at the bottom. I looked over my materials and began thinking through how each one could match with each soil layer. This required me to do research on some of the materials. After watching the video on alum supplied to us within the module, I knew that I wanted to start my filtration process with it. It would represent the sediment in a wetlands environment. Potentially harmful particles in both sediment and alum get separated from the water. I decided to use the cheesecloth to represent the humus layer of soil. I did like the students' thought process in the other video sent to us to watch, in that it was a good representation of intertwining root systems. Sand would represent the topsoil, as it is rich in minerals. Charcoal was next. Like the students in the video, I was familiar with charcoal being used in fish tank filters. Coal is found deeper in the earth, so in my mind it made sense to put it lower. And gravel was used to model the weathered rock. Step 2 of my procedures was to create the dirty water. I added olive oil to make things interesting. Steps 3 and 4 entailed prepping the cups. Coffee filters were on our list of materials, so I kind of felt obligated to use them and put them in between each layer. Dirty water was poured into the cup with alum and allowed to sit for 1 hour. The picture doesn't do it justice, but after the hour you actually could see a separation of water and particles in the cup. Next, I poked holes into the cups with a push pin. Holes were put on the bottom and the sides of the cups to model how water does not follow a straight path down in nature. It twists and turns. Cups were then stacked in the order that you see here. I felt the same way about the mesh as I did with the filter, so I put it under the cup with the alum as an extra root system. I used a clear glass on the bottom so I could see the progress. You can see the pictures of some of my observations on this slide. On the left, you see some tiny specks on the filter. This is what remained after the dirty water passed through the alum and the mesh. If you look really close, you might be able to see that the filters are completely soaked, allowing water to drip outside the cup. While it was interesting to see what the water looked like between each step, I would completely eliminate the filters next time. On the right, we can see clear water as a result of my filtration process. Here you see side-by-side comparisons, the dirty water, my filtrated water, and my well water at home. While the filtrated water initially looked crystal clear, it appears to be just slightly darker than my well water. In conclusion, without a microscope or water testing kit, I am unable to be 100% certain that I was successful. The water appears clear, and it did taste fine. I would like to test further in order to answer questions that arose as I conducted this activity. What would happen if I eliminate the coffee filters, the mesh, or even the alum? What would happen if I changed the order, or if I layered everything in one large container rather than the water passing through separate units? This activity is very much on the side of learner self-directed on the inquiry continuum. The student posed the question and determined and collected the evidence. However, our instructor did give us the reminder that students should research the materials. The student also formed an explanation based on evidence, researched resources, and communicated effectively. Additionally, with this activity, students are able to construct additional questions and make modifications as needed. Thank you and enjoy your day.